Good evening, everyone. Welcome to Supergrads. My name is Abhyansh Chauhan, and let's learn the A to Z of English with ABC. That is Abhyansh Chauhan, your verbal ability trainer. And today's Kahoot session is on idioms. Yes, Kahoot sessions. आप लोगों के लिए ये नई चीज हो सकती है because we have had two sessions on this Kahoot app. जिन बच्चों को अभी भी नहीं पता है, I wonder what you guys are waiting for. Kahoot.in पे आपको जाना है. ऐप में ये पिन डालोगे एंड आप कॉन्टेस्ट में एंटर कर जाओगे. So are you guys ready? Is everyone ready? Good evening, Arav. Good evening, Vicky. I've seen a lot of students have been waiting for around 15 to 20 minutes. We'll just begin in a while. As I can see, majority of you have joined the session. So today's session is going to be around idioms, and yes, I have 20 questions here. हम idioms वहाँ पे सीखेंगे, but उसके साथ साथ भी पूरा session will be around idioms. So it's time that we kill two birds with one stone. पहला, we'll learn idioms, and second, we'll have fun. I hope everyone is ready. Let's begin with things now, and let me now begin the Kahoot session. This is your game pin 478184, and if you guys are new to the channel, I request everyone to subscribe. Let's begin with things now. And Bacha Party, here is your first question on idioms. And let's begin in 3, 2, 1. Here's your quiz, here's your idiom, and here are your options. And आपका time students start हो चुका है. You have 30 seconds to answer this question. Let's see if you can answer this question. I'll move out of the frame and I'll explain once the timer is over. As I can see, 33 students have given the answers and 26 of you have got this one correct. That was your question number one on idioms based on fillers. So when we talk about exams, now what happens in the exam? Let's see how many of you got this one correct. So Mr. A is leading the scoreboard. Arav is second. Shlok is at number 3. Nidhi and Gaurav to follow. But जो बच्चे थोड़ा सा पीछे रह गए, I would say, hold your horses. बहुत से questions अभी आने हैं, and I'm sure you'll get a chance to redeem yourself. Let's now come back to the question because पहला part आपको मैंने choice दिया, आपके सामने मैंने 30 seconds दिए कि you should answer this question. Now my role starts from now on. So despite his efforts to explain his words fell on dash ears. अगर आपने ये इडियम ये फ्रेज कभी नहीं भी सुना है और आप एग्जाम सिनेरियो में फंस जाते हो, सो क्या तरीका होना चाहिए आपका? Ears. Now ears को अगर आप देखोगे, so the primary use of ears is to listen to things. People who are unable to listen to things are known as deaf. So it fell on deaf ears. All right, students. So as I saw, बहुत से बच्चों ने सही आंसर किया था. Of course, there is no such phrase in English as fell on golden ears, sharp ears, or blind ears. Blind and ears. How can you relate? How can you juxtapose these two words together? All right, students. So as I can see, chat में भी बहुत बच्चों ने आंसर किया है, ऐप पर बहुत बच्चों ने आंसर किया है. And still, if you guys are new to the session, सिर्फ एक ही काम करना है, आपको सब्सक्राइब कर लेना है सेशन को, ताकि ऐसे और जो Kahoot सेशंस आ रहे हैं, that will be helpful for you guys in your IP Mat and JIP Mat preparation, वो आप एक्सेस कर सको. So without wasting any time, let's move to the next question then. Here is our next question, students. I hope everyone is ready. 30 seconds है आपके पास. Let's see if you can crack this one. The CEO decided to pull the plug on the project after months of delay. What does pulling the plug means? Pull the plug, क्या meaning है? And in the first 15 seconds itself, I have seen 30 students answer this question, but I wonder how many of you got this one correct. Continue funding, stop or discontinue, expand the project, improve efficiency, and your time ends now. And 30 students got this one correct. देख लेते हैं भाई लीडर बोर्ड में कौन आगे चल रहा है. So Mr. A is there. After boards, someone who was not there after the first question, but इस question के बाद you're second on the list. Shlok, Gaurav, Arav, गुड जॉब गाइस. अब इसके explanation की तरफ चलते हैं because my role starts from now on. So the CEO decided to pull the plug on the project after months of delays. Now, if there's a lot of delay in a project, what do you expect the CEO to do? He pulled the plug. अगर आप इसको लिटरल सेंस में देखने जाओगे कि यार कहीं पे प्लग लगा हुआ है, आप प्लग पुल कर ले रहे हो, दैट मीन्स यूर डिसकंटिन्यूइंग समथिंग, you're not allowing something to happen. So pulling the plug means to stop or discontinue something. हो सकता है ये क्वेश्चन आप कहूट के इस सेशन में गलत कर गए, क्विज में आप कहीं पीछे रह गए, बट बच्चा पार्टी, लेट्स ऑलवेज फोकस ऑन द बिगर पिक्चर, दैट इज द एक्चुअल एग्जाम्स दैट वी आर गोइंग टू अपीयर in the month of May. All right, that was question number 2. Let's move to the third one now. Are you guys ready for the third one? I'm sure you are. Let's move to the third one. And here's your third question for the session. The manager was walking on dash when he had to address the staff after the layoffs. And the timer has started, the session has started, and I have got around 33, 35 answers in the first 15 seconds. In the first 15 seconds itself. देखते हैं लास्ट के 10 seconds में कौन बाजी मारता है, कौन आगे निकलना चाह रहा है. And your time ends in 3, 2, 1. That is all for this question. Let's see. Only 21 students got this one correct. And yes, walking on eggshells. If you're walking on eggshells, it's a delicate situation. वहां पर आप अपने आप को बैलेंस करना, अपने आप को हैंडल करना, अपना कंपोजर मेंटेन करके रखना, इट इज क्वाइट डिफिकल्ट. ये हुआ मीनिंग. नाउ let's discuss and let's see who's leading the charts here. So Mr. Afterboards is leading the chart. Gaurav, Arav, Hardik, Mantra, ठीक है. And Mr. AR is the highest climber, 11 places. मतलब पहले आप you were somewhere squandering at the bottom, but अब आप ऊपर आ चुके हैं. So the manager was walking on dash when he had to address the staff after the layoffs. Now, if a layoff has happened in a company and manager को अब सारे staff को address करना है, so that's a very delicate situation. That's a very dicey situation. A situation where he will not feel comfortable, उसको problem होगा. So walking on eggshells is that idiom. There's no such idiom like walking on water, walking on fire, or walking on air. So that was your question number 3, students. Let's move to the next one now. And here is your question number 4. Sarah has been working on the new design for weeks, and now it's time to separate the wheat from the what? Separate the wheat from husk, chaff, straw, grass. And within the first 10 seconds, I have received 35 responses. And I wonder why there are why the other students are taking so much time. So the number of responses has now reached to around 46, 47. And these are the last 3 seconds that we have to answer this question. And it's time. Now, let's cut to the chase. Let's come to the question. So Sarah has been working on the new design for weeks, and now it's time to separate the wheat from the chaff. So correct answer option B. Only 20 students have got this one correct. कितने बच्चों का ये correct है, ये देखना काफी interesting होगा. Let's see. So Hardik has gained a lot of points, और Hardik काफी ऊपर निकल गए. That's very good to see. Hardik, AR, Trisha, Madhur, Arjun. But जिन students का नाम इस list में नहीं है, do not lose heart. अभी भी quiz बहुत बचा हुआ है. So still you have time to redeem yourself. Now let's look at the question. कैसे आंसर करते हैं? And separating the wheat from the chaff का मतलब होता है कि important चीजों को आप अलग कर ले रहे हो और trivial चीजों को आप साइड में कर दे रहे हो. Trivial चीजों को आप negate कर दे रहे हो. ठीक है? So it is always separating wheat from the chaff. That was your question number 4, guys. यहाँ तक सारे बच्चों को मजा आ रहा है एक बार तो मुझे चैट में लिखकर भी आप बता सकते हो. लेट्स कम टू क्वेश्चन नंबर 5, स्टूडेंट्स. Here's your question number 5. Here's an opportunity for the students who are not on the leaderboard. आपका टाइम आ चुका है, आपको लीडर बोर्ड में ऊपर जाना है. Here's your question. So within the first 5 seconds, 30 plus students have responded, which is so pleasing to see, and pleasing for the sole reason कि यार इसी तरीके से यही स्पीड यही एक्यूरेसी आपको अपने एक्चुअल आईपी मैट एंड जिप मैट एंड रोहतक एग्जाम्स में मेंटेन करना है. So here's your question, students, and you have last 3 seconds and time's up for that. He was ready to throw in the towel after multiple failed attempts at starting a business. Throwing in a towel, what does this mean? तो इस पर मैं आऊंगा. Let's see लीडर बोर्ड में क्या चल रहा है. तो लीडर बोर्ड में भाई हार्दिक ने काफी अच्छी छलांग मारी है, and हार्दिक has leaped up to number 1, which is very good to see. AR, Madhur, Arjun, Trisha, and all the students whose name is not there in the leaderboard. अभी भी टाइम है, अभी भी यहाँ से भी आप अच्छी एक्यूरेसी मेंटेन कर सकते हो. जो चीजें आप यहाँ सीख रहे हो ना, यहाँ आप लीडर बोर्ड में पीछे हो जा रहे हो, यही चीजें आप फेस करोगे इन योर एक्चुअल एग्जाम्स. यू माइट गेट फर्स्ट 2 or 3 क्वेश्चंस रॉन्ग, बट वहां पे पैनिक नहीं करना है. आपके पास और मौका है. एग्जाम बहुत बड़ा होता है, एग्जाम में बहुत क्वेश्चंस होते हैं वापसी करने के लिए. लेट्स कम टू दिस क्वेश्चन. सो ही वाज रेडी टू थ्रो इन द टाल. नाउ थ्रोइंग इन अ टाल is an idiom that is primarily related to sports. Boxing में ऐसा मैंने बहुत देखा है कि whenever a person is not able to fight, तो उसका coach he just throws in the towel, or someone who's coach हो सकता है, manager हो सकता है, someone who's associated to that boxer or a wrestler, he throws in the towel. That means he decides कि नहीं यार अब हम नहीं कर पाएंगे, we give up. So giving up, surrendering, that is what throwing in the towel means. ठीक है. So that was your question number 5, guys. Let's now move to question number 6. Here is your question number 6. चलो, here's your quiz. Question number 6 आपके सामने आ चुका है बच्चा पार्टी. And you have 20 seconds to answer this question. Let's see how many of you can crack this one. The government's attempt to cover up the scandal was just a case of papering over the cracks. There are a lot of cracks, and all the government is doing is trying to paper over it. What does this mean? Papering over something. And time's up. Let's see how many of you got this one correct. So there were 45 students. अगर 45 स्टूडेंट्स का आंसर करेक्ट है, दैट मींस कि जो हमारा लीडर बोर्ड चल रहा था उसमें बहुत ज्यादा चेंजेस होते हुए मुझे नहीं दिख रहे हैं. लेट्स सी वेयर द लीडर बोर्ड स्टैंड्स. यस, वहीं पर ही फ्लक्चुएट हो रहा है. 5 players just hit answer streak 3, which is very good. मतलब आपके पिछले तीनों क्वेश्चन सही थे, और ये स्ट्रीक आपको मेंटेन करके चलना है, not just in this session but till the time you appear for your actual exams as well. Coming to the question, students, so the government's attempt to cover up the scandal was just a case of papering over the cracks. Cracks हैं, बहुत सारे cracks हैं, और अगर वहां पे you're just papering over them, so it will not provide any solution, rather it will hide the actual problem. यही यहाँ पे हो रहा है, hiding the real problem, papering over the cracks. This is what it means. So जल्दी से मुझे आप चैट सेक्शन में ये बता दो, are idioms a hard nut to crack? 20 questions हम Kahoot सेशन पे तो कर रहे हैं, बट उसके साथ साथ बहुत सारे idioms मैं आपको देके जाऊंगा. So just tell me in the chat section, are idioms a hard nut to crack? And with that, let's move to the next one. And here's your next question, guys. Even though the evidence was clear, he continued to turn a blind eye to his friend's mistake. Here are your options. Your time starts now. Let's see how many of you can get this one correct, and let's see if we can expect any fluctuations in the leaderboard this time around. Yes, Kajal, they are not a hard nut to crack, but yes, they are challenging. They are doable, and I'm sure आप ये कर पाएंगे by the time you get to your actual IP MAT GIPMAT exams. And your time ends now. 50 students have answered this correctly. Only 3 students got this one incorrect. That makes me believe कि leader board पे अभी भी बहुत ज़्यादा changes होते हुए मुझे नहीं दिख रहे. Even though the evidence was clear, he continued to turn a blind eye. देख के इग्नोर कर दिया, देखा भी और इग्नोर भी कर दिया. So that is what this idiom means. And yes, Hardik, AR, Madhu, Trisha, and Mr. A has made an entry to the top 5. And let's now answer the question. So टर्निंग अ ब्लाइंड आई टू समथिंग का मतलब होता है कि आपने देखा, यू सॉ दैट कि हाँ यार कुछ प्रॉब्लम है, कुछ गलती है, बट यू डिसाइडेड टू इग्नोर इट. सो इग्नोर deliberately, intentionally you're doing that, intentionally you're ignoring something. That is what turning a blind eye to something means. Let's move to the next question then. Here's your next question. The new policy was a bitter pill to swallow for many employees. Bitter pill to swallow, hard pill to swallow. This is one of the common idioms जो आप अपने एग्जाम्स में देखते हैं. And let's see how many of you can answer this question. You have 20 seconds left. But जो बच्चे मेहनत कर रहे हैं वो तो भाई शुरू के 10 seconds में ही आंसर कर दे रहे हैं और बोल रहे हैं कि सर अब आंसर बता दो, अब तो और किसी डिस्कशन की जरूरत नहीं है. If still some of you, if some of you are watching this on YouTube and you're wondering where to answer these questions, you have to go to kahoot.it and the game pin is 478184. वहां पर जाओ, पिन डालो, गेम में आ जाओ और उसके बाद फिर YouTube पर आओ. Subscribe to the channel to get access to more such Kahoot sessions and our videos. चलो. So 48 students got this one correct, only 2 got this one wrong. Let's look at the leaderboard. There are some changes in the leaderboard. And Himanshi is making a comeback, which is very good to see. Hardik is no longer a part of the leaderboard. AR, आगे चल रहे हैं, बहुत बढ़िया. Let's move to the next question. Let's talk about this question first. New policy was a bitter pill to swallow. So bitter pill to swallow is a tough situation to accept. Unpleasant situation. You've done something wrong. You're scolded for that. और आप सिर्फ हेड डाउन करके बात सुन रहे हो और कुछ नहीं कर सकते. दैट इज व्हाट अ हार्ड पिल टू सॉलो और अ बिटर पिल टू सॉलो मींस. सो दैट वाज योर क्वेश्चन गाइस. लेट्स मूव टू द नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन. I hope everyone is ready. The whole team was on tenterhooks waiting for the final results. All my students are on tenterhooks waiting for the final result. And here are your options. 49, 50 students have answered. I wonder what other students are doing. And in 4, 3, 2, 1, your time ends now. Your time ends. The correct answer here is option B. On tenterhooks, nervous and anxious. I'm sure some of you have answered excited, but tenterhooks में you are anxious about something. You're not so sure कि आप excited हो, आप nervous हो. All that I can say is that you're anxious about things. So Mr. AR, सबसे ऊपर, Madhur. Anshika is making a comeback with 3 in a row, which is very good to see. Good job, Anshika. And as I said, on tenterhooks means nervous and anxious. Let's move to the next question now. Here's your next question. His explanation sounded like a red herring to distract us from the real issue. So what does a red herring do? It distracts you. Does it distract you? Question अपने आप में ही सारी बात आपको बताते हुए चल रहा है. Let's see if you can answer this question. You have 17 seconds and I'm counting on the number of students who have answered. Kajal, how to join this? This is quite simple. You have to go to kahoot.it, kahoot.it. गेम पिन डालना है वहां पे 478184 एंड आप भी ज्वाइन कर सकते हो. इट इज दैट सिंपल. yes Kajal, on the Kahoot app you have to join. Yes Mayank, seems like your answer is correct. Akrama, ठीक है. So I can see there are some students who are answering on the YouTube as well, but it would be better if you go to kahoot.it, enter the spin, that is 478184, and you can join the session live. Now, out of the 52 questions that have answered, 50 students got this one correct. His explanation sounded like a red herring, that is a misleading clue. अब how to study idioms, ये भी questions आप लोग मुझसे पूछते हैं. Shlok is the highest climber. Very good, Shlok, you're doing well. And I expect to see your name in the upcoming questions. I expect to see your name on the leaderboard. Now, when we talk about red herring students, so herring is a fish. Red, of course, is a color. And when we study idioms, we study animal idioms, we study color idioms. So red herring is not one of those idioms that I expect कि आप गलत करोगे एग्जाम में. The moment you see a red herring in the examination, your eyes should lit up कि यार मजा आ गया, यही तो चाहिए था, and you should just pounce on it. It is that simple. ठीक है? So that was your question, students. Let's move to the next one now. That is question number 11. Their plan was perfect, but an unexpected storm threw a spanner in the work. And here are your options. Here's your timer. Start. कर दो. Time's up. 55 students. That's good to see that the number of students who are participating in this quiz is increasing question by question. Now we have 55 students who answered this question. 54 of them got this one correct. Let's see what the meaning of this idiom is. And leaderboard में भी Trisha is making a very good move. 13 players have reached answer streak 7. आरव थोड़ा नीचे. मधुर somewhere around the leaderboard. मुझे ऐसा लग रहा है कि मधुर is doing very well consistently, and let's see by the end of session कोई भी number 1 पे आ सकता है. Let's come to this question now. Throwing a spanner into something, that means you're causing an obstruction into something. The moment you hear the word obstruction, तो इसके साथ साथ hindrance, impediment, stymie, ये सारे set of words भी आपको दिमाग में आने चाहिए. So created problems. Option B was the correct answer to this question. Let's move to the next question. That is question number 12. The spy finally spilled the beans about the secret mission. Spill the beans. Food idioms, food item related idioms जब हम sessions में पढ़ते हैं, YouTube पर पढ़ते हैं, classes में पढ़ते हैं, तब मैं food item related idioms आपको बताता हूँ. I'll move out of the frame and give you a chance to answer these questions. You still have 13 seconds to answer this. And out of the 54 students that have answered this question, 52 of you got this one correct, so you deserve a pat on the back. And let's now check where you guys stand on the leaderboard. So Mr. AR is consistently at number 1, which is very good to see. Coming to the question, students, so the spy finally spilled the bean. You're spilling something out. Spilling something out means you're revealing a secret. Beans के ऊपर एक और idiom होता है, that is full of beans, and a lot of students misinterpret that idiom spill the beans with someone who has a lot of secret inside him. When you're full of beans, that does not mean that you have a lot of secrets. Full of beans means you're highly energetic. बहुत सारे beans आप consume करोगे तो क्या होगा? You'll have a lot of energy. It is that simple. So that was your question, students. आपने answer कर दिया. Now let's move to question number 13 for today's session. Question number 13. When the argument started, I tried to stay on the fence, sit on the fence sitting. कई तरीके से ये idiom exams में आता है. And you still have 20 seconds to answer the question. 52 students have answered the question. Vaishali, Mayank, Harjot. If you guys are new to the session, you should join the Kahoot app, kahoot.it. Game pin डालना है वहाँ पे 478418 and you can join the session. All right, guys. So 57, 58 students have answered this question. That's good to see. And 56 of you got this one correct. Now, if someone is sitting on the fence, imagine if you are well dressed up in your formals, you're going to your office, and you see kids playing in the ground. आपके अंदर का भी बच्चा जाग जाता है. You feel like यार जाके क्या बच्चों के साथ मुझे भी खेलना चाहिए. So you climb the fence, but you're sitting on the fence. You're not able to decide कि यार खेलने जाना है या ऑफिस जाना है. That is what sitting on the fence means. That means you're not able to choose. You're not able to take a decision. So sitting on the fence means you are being neutral. Sujal. Acha, Sujal, I'll definitely see your name in the leaderboard. ठीक है, ठीक है. So that was this question, guys. Let's move to the next one. That is question number 14 for today's session. The manager took his assistant under his wing and mentored him. Take someone under your wing. Wings कहाँ से आ रहे हैं? Wings आ रहे हैं birds से. So birds से relate करो. अगर birds किसी को, if they're taking someone under their wing, मतलब उसको protect कर रहे हैं, of course. So let's see how many of you can get this one correct. And your time ends in 3, 2, and 1. क्या था इसका correct answer? Took care and guided, and 59 students have answered correctly. भाई मजा आ गया ये देखकर मुझे. The reason I say that, यहाँ आप जितना अच्छा कर रहे हो, जितना टाइम आप बचा रहे हो, यही सारी चीजें आपको एक्चुअल आईपी मैट एग्जाम्स में हेल्प करेंगी. जो टाइम आपका बच रहा है, ऑफ कोर्स वो टाइम आप यूज करोगे इन रीडिंग कॉम्प्रिहेंशंस, बिकॉज रीडिंग कॉम्प्रिहेंशंस एंड स्पीड, इट्स अ नेवर एंडिंग स्टोरी. तो ऑफ कोर्स वहां पे बहुत ज्यादा स्पीड आप डेवलप नहीं कर पाओगे, पर जो टाइम आप यहाँ पे सेव कर रहे हो वो चीजें आपको रीडिंग कॉम्प्रिहेंशन, पैरा कंप्लीशन, इस तरीके के क्वेश्चंस में हेल्प करेंगी. Looking at the leaderboard, AR is there doing well. Trisha, Arjun, Arav, and Mr. A. Shlok is making a comeback. I expect to see you in the leaderboard in the next few questions. So the manager took his assistant under his wing. So if a bird takes someone under the wings, that means the bird is protective. Uska ख्याल रख रही है अच्छे से. So took care and guided him. अगला क्वेश्चन देखते हैं बच्चा पार्टी. दैट इज क्वेश्चन नंबर 15 फॉर today's session. She agreed to the deal, but I could tell she was biting her tongue. कंजंक्शंस आपकी ऐसे क्वेश्चंस में बहुत हेल्प करते हैं. अगर आपको एग्जाम में ये ईडियम नहीं भी पता है, if you're facing this idiom for the first time, I can still give you a few tips to make sure that you answer it correctly. बेस्ड ऑन जो यहाँ पर आपको कंजंक्शंस दिख रहे हैं, उसके बेसिस पर भी आप आंसर कर सकते हैं चीजें. एंड योर टाइम एंड्स नाउ. 59 स्टूडेंट्स गॉट दिस वन करेक्ट. शी अग्रीड टू द डील, बट आई कुड टेल शी वाज बाइटिंग हर टंग. देखो, शी अग्रीड टू द डील, बट देन यू हैव अ कंजंक्शन दैट बट लगते से ही ना सेंटेंस का इमोशन पूरा चेंज हो जाएगा. अग्री तो कर रही, बट देयर इज सम प्रॉब्लम एज वेल. बट she was holding back her words, biting her tongue. She was abstaining from saying anything. अपनी बात को रख रही थी अपने तक. So that was your answer for this question. AR is at number 1. Trisha is doing well. Arav, Arjun, Mr. A. Good job, guys. Let's move to the next question. Explain मैं कर चुका हूँ. Next question, students. That is question number 16 for today's session. Trying to beat around the bush won't help. Just tell me the truth. You're beating around the bush, beating about the bush. Circumlocution. ये सारी चीजें related हैं. Let's see if you can answer this question, students. Trying to beat around the bush won't help. Just tell me the truth. 57 students, 58 students have answered, and we are now down to the last 5 seconds. Sujal, if you talk about idioms, इंदौर एग्जाम में टफ आते हैं. ट्रस्ट मी, इंदौर एग्जाम्स में ईडियम्स टफ नहीं आते हैं. प्रॉब्लम ये है कि आपने ईडियम्स पढ़े, उसका मीनिंग पढ़ा है, बस उसका यूजेज नहीं पढ़ा है, आपने कॉन्टेक्स्ट समझने की कोशिश नहीं करी है. दैट इज वेयर यू आर लैकिंग. 58 students answered this one correctly. Trying to beat around the bush, you're not coming to the main point. कहानी बना रहे हो, circumlocate कर रहे हो. So that is what this idiom means. Avoid the main issue. Let's see who we have on the leaderboard. Mr. AR is doing well. Trisha, Arav, Arjun, Mr. A. Okay, let's come to the next question. So trying to beat around the bush, just tell me the truth. Don't beat around the bush. Kahani mat banao. Come to the main point. That is what this idiom means. Let's move to the next one now. Question number 17. The new regulations left many employees up in arms. Extremely happy, deeply confused, very angry, highly motivated. What does this idiom mean, students? You have 20 more seconds to answer this question. 20 more seconds to answer this question. And now we are down to the last 10. 60 students have responded, 61 students, 62 students have responded, and your time is up. Up in arms, what does this mean? Up in arms, very angry. And 28 students got this one incorrect. जो लीडर बोर्ड आप सेशन के स्टार्टिंग से देख रहे थे, इट्स टाइम दैट इट चेंजेस. मुझे पूरी उम्मीद है कि यहां से अब लीडर बोर्ड चेंज होने वाला है. ये क्वेश्चन बहुत बच्चों ने गलत किया है जो बच्चे अभी तक अच्छा कर रहे थे. So let's see if we have any dramatic changes in the leaderboard. Not so dramatic, but yes, ऊपर नीचे हो गई हैं चीजें. Arav is now at number 1, Mr. A is at number 2, and Trisha is holding her position, doing well at number 3. Let's come to the next question. Question number 18, students. It was a tough decision, but I decided to bite the bullet and accept the job offer. But, conjunction but, आपकी हेल्प करने के लिए आया है. जल्दी से आंसर कर दो. Kajal, from what I have seen the pattern in the exam, direct idioms IPMAT इंदौर में आप expect नहीं कर सकते हो. Idioms contextual form में ही आने वाले हैं. And your time ends in 3, 2, 1. Let's see. Oh my God. The good thing is, जितने बच्चों ने रिस्पॉन्ड किया सबने करेक्ट आंसर किया. आप सेशन के स्टार्टिंग में ईडियम्स में आपका लेवल अगर यहां था तो आई एम प्रीटी श्योर इन दीज लास्ट 30 मिनट्स आपका लेवल ऊपर गया है. It was a tough decision, but I decided to bite the bullet, accept something difficult. Unpleasant situation is, this is what it means, bite the bullet. एक unpleasant situation थी, but आपने वो situation easily face कर ली. So that was your idiom. Let's see where the leaderboard stands. Arav is back at number 1, which is good to see. मतलब हर बच्चे के लिए, of course. Let's talk about the 19th question for today's session. Yes, JIPMAT में ये questions directly आ जाते हैं. Five, four, three, two, one. Your time ends now. Play the long game. Long game मतलब लंबे plans आप बना रहे हो, आगे के लिए आप plans बना रहे हो. Plan for long term success. That means you're thinking about the future. You're keeping the future in mind. कि क्या क्या किया जा सकता है. So Arav is at number 1. After boards at number 2, Mr. A at number 3, Trisha at 4, Madhur at 5. And I believe with just one question to go, I think leaderboard यही रहने वाला है. In the meantime, I'll answer some questions on YouTube as well. Harshit, contextually simple होते हैं. Yes, because if there are direct idioms, then it's a gamble. Either you know the idiom or you don't. But if it is in contextual form, somehow you can relate to it. Somehow you can use option elimination as well. So I think it is in favor of the students. That brings us to the last session of today, last question of today's Kahoot session. बच्चा पार्टी, here's your chance to answer this question. जो बच्चे आज सेशन में नहीं ज्वाइन कर पाए थे, kahoot.it पर आपको जाना है, वहां पे गेम का पिन आपको मिल जाएगा. कल I'll be back at the same time 6 p.m. हम फिर से एक ऐसा सेशन लेकर आएंगे. तो I expect more students to join tomorrow. Let's answer this question. "31 students got this one correct and 22 students got this one incorrect. इसका क्या reason है ये देखते हैं. He was always a great leader, but in his recent mistakes prove that he is not completely above board. That means he was not completely honest. He was expected. उसका image ऐसा ही था कि he was completely honest. So honest and transparent is the correct answer to this question. 31 students got this one correct. Let's look at the leaderboard. Leaderboard पे last में आएंगे. Question discuss हम कर चुके हैं. So let's see the podium. Let's see who's on number 3. On number 3 we have Trisha. So claps for Trisha. Good job, beta. At number 2 we have Mr. Afterboard, and at number 1 we have Mr. A. Mr. A, it would have been better अगर आप अपने नाम से आते. I would have been more than happy to call your name. But good job, students. So I hope everyone had a whale of a time. I hope everyone enjoyed the session. But before calling it day, I want to know which idiom was your favorite in today's session. मुझे आप comment में ये चीजें बता सकते हैं. I'll see you guys tomorrow at the same time 6 p.m. तब के लिए keep practicing, keep revising, and keep learning with a smile on your face. Thank you so much. Bye bye guys.